Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 700, and what is it? 700 is probably 775. Private International Trust slash E. Really excited about this episode. This particular episode is, we have a bunch of trustees that, a lot of international trustees will reach out, people of immigrant descent or otherwise foreign descent, outside of being an American or a European common law type jurisdiction thought process. And so, we wanted to talk on this particular episode how a lot of trustees don't have an international mindset in the first place. But if they understood that they were private, then they would know that they're an international trustee. So that means you would go into different jurisdictions knowing that something else is going to be separate and different in that jurisdiction. And you're going to go into that jurisdiction and say, we're not going to take what we have from another jurisdiction and commingle it in this jurisdiction. We're going to actually, in this particular jurisdiction, do what we know how to do best, make sure it's done properly in this particular jurisdiction, and not have entities cross jurisdiction because we don't know how to not have them tied together. Some people would say that. Well, I don't know how to not tie it together because I didn't learn that. Exactly. Because you didn't get private trustee training from Trust Christian in the Vault. That's a joke on the inside. Then on the back end of that, even if you don't get trustee training from the Vault, you still have to know how to, be around the right people that can share that information with you, because it is some what you would call private information. Is that clearly it's not just for everybody to say, hey, yeah, I know how to go into another jurisdiction and be private. It's almost like saying, are you like an agent or a CIA agent or some organization agent? And it's not that. Actually, it's some people back in the day used to say they used to call it the sovereign movement. And so when you really get down to it, it could come down to, hey, does this individual right here or whoever this is, do they know how to operate sovereignly in different jurisdictions? That's what it is, Trust Christian. 100%. And so when you go into these different jurisdictions, people don't know how to protect themselves because they don't come from a family, or they don't have the information to do so. So they go into a jurisdiction and you basically are an operator, as they would say. But a sovereign and an operator are two different people. Operators are in the market, generating capital, creating economic capital value, whereas a sovereign would technically try to say that they're independently wealthy, but they don't have to enter into the marketplace. They have substantial assets. Their asset base allows them to operate independent of any particular system, and they can work around different systems or work within different systems because they bring economic value to the table. Some people, if they really understood, your economic value definitely is yourself initially, but no one will really want to hear that, because if you haven't done anything or put things together or created economic value from your energy, then people would say, well, where's the economic value at? That's what people would say. How valuable are you? How valuable is your economic value if you haven't created anything economically yet? That's kind of how it looks. So, private international trusteeship. Oh man, Trust Christian, I want to be a private trustee. Okay. You want to be a private trustee. They want to be private trustees, ladies and gentlemen. But really, you're an international trustee. You're foreign, right? To the state, right? And we're talking about, oh, I want to be I'm gonna be a private trustee. So you're international. So are you doing things? Is business is not personal? Are you operating that way? So we're really excited because we actually, shout out to Poland. We actually just had a trustee inquire about trustee training and is in Poland, and we're really happy to hear that people are listening from Poland. And so, in this particular case, this trustee in Poland, okay, now some of y'all not never heard this from Trust Christian Revolt because we're doing real things. So, oh, Trust Christian, we going into Poland, Trust Christian. Okay. Trust Christian, we gonna drop you off on the boat. They may not do the boat, they might drop you off on an airplane. You bungee away. Okay, we're in Poland now. We're international trustees. We're supposed to be private trustees, which means we're international trustees, and we're international jurisdiction. Just another international jurisdiction with the family estate right now. Okay, first thing we want to do, we want to definitely get in contact with any type of, we want to find out what are the local real estate laws, what is the jurisdiction that we're in. So we found out that this is a civil jurisdiction. It's not a common law jurisdiction. So most of the trustees, they know how to howdy doody it through common law jurisdictions because they think that's all the thing you got to learn, or they didn't go through trustee training to understand. We got mentors that have shared us, oh, Trust Christian, you can just study comparative law. You can study comparative international law. So they never discouraged us from finding out other what you call jurisdictions in law. So when you get these even attorneys on the internet thinking they trying to say some flim flam, oh, Trust Christian involved, we already know everything you talk about with the common law. Right. But what makes you think that American families are not operating in a Muslim jurisdiction? Last time we checked, the United States has a contract with Middle Eastern countries through a contract called OPEC. We already know everything's in trust. So we have an agreement, we have an international agreement, and that agreement goes into that jurisdiction in various different levels. So now we're talking, let's go into a Sharia jurisdiction. Y'all think that elite American families don't go into the jurisdiction, find out the local lawmen, talk to the local lawmen, and make sure that they set up properly? You don't go into somebody else's house and say, okay, I'm going to create the rules. No, we go in there and we find out what the rules are. No one wants to hear that because, oh, I'm not treating it like it's a house trust, Christian. That's a very oversimplification of an analogy. How could you just say it's going in someone's house? Okay. Going in someone else's house, we want to learn the laws. So we have to contact who? We have to get in contact with the local lawman. Okay, great. And this is even funny that we even saying this in real time because what happens is, even if you go into a certain jurisdiction, if you open up a business or something that has to deal with numbers, there's a level of accounting. So do you know the accounting for that area? Do you know the accounting standards for that area? For that jurisdiction? So you'll get some trustees that'll say, oh yeah, Trust Christian, I gotta find out all of that stuff. You're in the jurisdiction, of course. You're operating around the jurisdiction. We're in these jurisdictions. Oh, okay. We're talking about the Poland situation. Okay, we're about to go in once again. We're about to find out who are the local law people. Some of the best. We want to find out who the top firms, who deals with asset protection. Some people call it estate management or estate planning, but you can go in and call it, once again, just finding a good firm. Sometimes your bigger firms in the country, your bigger firms are going to help out companies. Companies usually have people that have a ton of money, so they have accounting firms that are managing wealthy people's money that run the companies that run in the country. You can find one of the top firms. Oh, Trust Christian. It's funny, we were on a line with some goofy founders the other day. Sorry to say it this way, but this is the reality, the silliness that you hear. What's it say? Your hands showing weakness. Here we go. This is a founder of a company. Swear out they gonna take this to $1 billion. Sure, we got faith in them. Okay, but when we make a suggestion that the mentors told us and we did it, you have to find, you have to get legal and accounting that you can't afford at that time when you start. So you can show yourself in a good light and representation. Oh, yeah? 100%. Yes. 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 Is it like that, Trust Christian? 100%. Gotta find it that you can't afford. Oh, Trust Christian is not. You can't do that. You gotta have the money for it. Alright. You making it sound like people don't believe in your dream. When you believe in your dream, other people gonna believe in a dream. It all started with believing in a dream. We don't want to say that word believe. You could use the word, you gotta have faith in a dream. You gotta have faith in your dream. That's just the facts. You say, oh, what's faith or what's belief? It's called when you close your eyes, if you see the vision, you gotta hold on to that vision no matter what you see in front of your eyes. Whether people want to hear that or not, that's all life is. Is it that simple? 100%. You got to so once you have the vision, because that's what it's called, a vision. If you never knew what a vision is, I had a vision. Moses had a vision. Somebody had a vision. A vision. I don't know how to dream. I can't close my eyes. I can't see nothing. Exactly. So if you can't see nothing right now for yourself, take some time to see something for yourself. But if you see something for yourself, you gotta, what they say, believe in it. They say you gotta have faith in it. Okay, great. So here we are. If we operating as a private international trustee and you have faith in yourself and belief in yourself, belief in your dream, that's all you need. But oh no, Trust Christian, you need the money. And that's the problem. You don't know that. Because you want to sit here and say, talk about money. Also, that's all a certain group of people want to talk about is the money. Now, they come in certain circles, they come in our circles, and they say, oh yeah, Trust Christian, aren't you guys talking about money? Not in the way that you're talking about it. Oh man, I was trying to build my dream for 2 to 3 years. You don't even want to hear that. This how you know people ain't got heart. I'm not going to build my dream for 2 to 3 years. That's how you know you're not meant to be wealthy. You want to have unlimited funds. You want to have unlimited funds. Money, so much money you don't have to think about money anymore. But you won't go 3 years for a period of time to figure something out. People come on the line, oh, Trust Christian, I want to be a $50 million plus trustee. Dang, they're saying you want to be. I don't even understand what you're saying. When you get past $30 million, this is how low the bar is on the public side. Oh, I want to get in Forbes, Trust Christian. What you think is hard? If you get into the category of having over $40 million, over $30 million plus, $40 million net worth, you are considered a high net worth investor. That's all you wanted, right? Oh yeah, Trust Christian. I just want to get $50 million, Trust Christian. I get that. Psh, man, my life, my mindset, and my life will be different. Exactly. We know. We don't want to BS you, but are you going to BS yourself? You think you can live in America? What is it? The million is the new 100,000. The billion is the new million. You don't want to hear that though. No, Trust Christian, don't tell me the billion is the new million. Do they have trillionaires right now? And no one in our lifetime, in the past 20 years, would have thought, man, they actually are going to say a man's going to be a trillionaire in some lifetime. A man is a trillionaire. Is that because of them printing out money? Or is that because he created economic value? That's where we are in this society at this point. There's $1 trillion man. Oh, really? $1 trillion companies. Oh, really? Trillions? Wow. Some companies are happy to get $1 billion valuation. Right. Some companies are happy to go public. Millions of dollars. We talking? Oh yeah, it's not a billion no more. Now it's the new million. Right. Exactly. How do you recruit the talent? You gotta be able to. Uh, we'll say this much because we already know what it is, and this is the challenging part for most of the. You guys don't even want to know what elite people consider people that don't want to get educated, and it's unfortunate. We don't really want to talk about those names. What we will say is, you gotta believe in your dream. That is the currency. The if you don't want to use the word believe, you gotta have faith. It's neither one of these two words. There's no way around it. You gotta have those two things, and everything else will work itself out. It might sound hard to hear. Oh, trust Christian, it can't be that easy. It's gotta be complicated. Exactly. Now, when we get to the belief in the faith, you gotta have a vision. You gotta have an outcome. It's gotta be clearly defined. Everything has a limit. It has to be clearly defined. Oh yeah, 100%. Just got to be defined. You operate in an international jurisdiction. Well, we're going to keep what's international, international. We're going to keep what's in this jurisdiction, in this jurisdiction. We're going to make sure that we're operating as a trustee the entire time. People will actually find out if they left their original jurisdiction and went into other jurisdictions and had to operate as a trustee, they will operate at a higher level. Why? And they would move through society a lot easier. Why? Because they would understand how to sign things. They would know how to engage with the public, and so they will operate efficiently because they will automatically think, all right, I'm private. I'm just going to operate privately in the public, right? But then when they in their home base jurisdiction, it's all trust Christian. I'm still caught in the quagmire. You don't want to know. You are caught in the quagmire for sure. Of course, you're caught in the quagmire because you're around people that aren't in trusteeship. Most of the society is not in trusteeship. It's no, oh, trust Christian, that's what it really is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in wealthy circles, it's like, oh, trust Christian, you don't want to talk to people that don't insert the money and all this other stuff. All right, y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear the type of thought process that elite and wealthy people they rather just read a book. Oh, trust Christian for real? You try to talk to me like that? You gonna say it like that? You 100%. Just read a book. Some people would think books are programming. That could be true. But here we go. And this is, I will give you like secrets that when you sit in a certain private rooms, this is what we talking about. All right. One of the mentors said, trust Christian. I want you to read something this week that's challenging to your thought process. Like, what do you specify? I want you to read something that challenges your thought process, that goes against your belief system, and I want you to read it and be objective. And I want you to stay objective, but I want you to read it so you can understand truly what objectivity is and force yourself or truly digest the information, but stay objective. Don't get emotional, don't get biased, do not come from a biased position. Objectively observe the information. Now some people might say, oh, trust Christian, this isn't this. First of all, if you understood what we said and you did it, we already know you're gonna be blessed. But we understand that the blessing comes when you do it. So we're talking about it. A lot of people don't want to do what we just said. It's called thinking. It's critical thinking. And you're intentionally stretching your mental and emotional capacities. Really? 100%. So we were really excited to actually do that. We were really excited to Make it a point to do that. Oh man, Trust Christian, you really going, you know, you're gonna make it a point to read an objective, what objective, reading or writing? Sure, of course. These are the things that we do in the circles. Oh, Trust Christian, I don't know if that's an elite practice. That's not an elite practice. Ain't no elite practice. Okay. That's not an elite practice, Trust Christian. Okay. Staying objective. Improving your objectivity. It's like, mentor really want us to do this? You don't even want to know. What you want the mentor to tell you, not to come back with homework assignment? Not to come back with a book report? Is that what you want? You want the mentor to say that to you? Oh man, you don't have to come back and say nothing to me. You don't have to say anything. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to. Okay. You don't have to do the report. Okay. I'm gonna tell you straight up, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you're able to go into another jurisdiction and get the results that you're looking for and perform. That's how you do it. You go into another jurisdiction and perform by being objective. It's that simple. 100% being objective. Some people might not know what that is, but trustees and trustee training program find out what objectivity is just through that exercise alone. They start, it's not a strain on their brain. They understand, oh wow, I'm getting an understanding of how to digest information even if I don't want to, because I'm staying objective. Even if I'm observing the information, I'm definitely not I'm definitely not becoming biased or emotional about it. Correct. Correct. But hey, how many people understand that? Staying objective in that way. Definitely about staying objective. And as an international trustee, you'll be able to do that. Trustees, shout out to one of the trustees just enrolled. Trustee comes on the trustee call and says, "Hey, Trust Christian, I learned how to open up the bank account by listening to your recording before I went to open up the bank account." What? You did what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I was learning. I went to the trustee spot. Uh, I went to open up the bank account. They did what they were supposed to do. I listened to the recording. Okay, great. The recording, yeah, it's on the internet. Just by, hey, okay, I have to dress the part, I gotta look the part, I gotta talk the part. This is a trustee, private trustee before they came in, so we're excited to have a continued conversation. But to sit here and say, "Oh, Trust Christian, you didn't put out all the jewels in the information like the rest of these greaseballs and gurus on the internet," like, of course not. Why would we? Why would we? We might as well just go ahead and for he who has ears, let him hear. For he who has ears, let him hear. So, once again, appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, this is Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, Christian at trustchristian.com. Looking forward to hearing from you all. Trustee training, shout out to once again Poland. We always got a bunch of trustees listening from a bunch of different parts of the world. But this was just obviously a good, trustee reached out And some people may say, "Oh man, how you gonna operate in that jurisdiction, man? How can you operate?" We're like, "Oh man, this is exciting. You get to be in a jurisdiction where most aren't going to survive and they're not going to thrive. They don't even want to hear what that's like. Trust Christian, what do you mean? I'm in the civil jurisdiction. I'm not going to win. I'm a loser." Exactly. You're not in a common law jurisdiction, right? Because that's what you operate internationally with, right? Or you not? Are you operating in a Muslim jurisdiction? "Oh man, I ain't going over there. I don't know nothing about it." Exactly. But we're gonna make sure that once again, private trusteeship is international trusteeship. International trusteeship is private trusteeship. But are you wanting to be that deep? Which is basically, do you want to be that wealthy? Where when you go into different jurisdictions, you're operating a proper capacity. "No, Judge Christian, it can't be that easy. It's got to be harder." We know. Your mindset is moved. It's in a certain place. So how do you get to the place of, you know, trusteeship once again? You enroll. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.